Students are already back in some classrooms across the state, but their health departments are still trying to figure out if kids should be wearing masks.
Nobody is safe in Afghanistan right now. Nobody knows that what's going to happen tomorrow. Everybody's, panicking.
Refugees from Afghanistan have been in Denver long before U.S. troops started to withdraw. Now they're worried for everyone they left behind. Now, Colorado's lawmakers who served are frustrated with the decision to withdraw without helping the Afghans who helped the U.S.
Just hours before the state's second largest school district starts the fall semester, Jefferson County Public Health issues an order requiring all students ages 2 and older to wear a mask in class. Tonight, another public health agency considered doing the same thing.
Tri-County Health met with plans to consider a school mask order of its own, and as 9 News reporter Nelson Garcia shows us, parents had 90 minutes to sway the Board of Health.
Welcome the members of the public.
In a public meeting held in the isolation of Zoom, the Tri-County Health Department welcomed community comment on whether to take the ask out of mask.
I have pictures of these packages of masks that state that they are not intended for medical use and that they do not protect against the COVID-19 virus.
Tri-County Health encompasses Adams, Arapahoe, and Douglas counties, containing 15 different public school districts and numerous private schools.
I'm speaking today to request you implement a universal mask requirement in all the pre-K-12 schools within your jurisdiction.
Why didn't we have these conversations a week ago?
And I refused for my daughter to be subject number 1.
The Board of Health says more than 2,000 people signed up to speak.
If wearing a mask at school keeps my kids in school, I am all for it.
More than 10,000 people sent in written comments with stats, opinions, and tragedy.
Pre-pandemic, my child was happy, well-adjusted, had a 4.0, and was on the dean's list. She went from that to contemplating suicide, and masks contributed greatly.
Some have wondered if masking interferes with social development. There's no evidence of significant impairment. Children are very adaptable.
Educate my children. Do not mess with their health.
And parents are passionate.
Masks might limit communication or be stressful, but not as much as forced remote quarantines. Is it easier to wear a mask or juggle remote learning?
After about 2 hours in executive session, the Tri-County Board of Health decided to put off the decision for one more day. The board will meet again tomorrow at 4:30 to vote on whether to impose a mask mandate. Kim, Alex, keep in mind that most of the schools in these counties have already started classes.
What do you think one more day is going to do for them?
Well, who knows? And, it is a complicated situation because although Douglas County is a part of the Tri-County Health system, they also have the option to opt out of orders. So who knows if they're talking about that. They met with their lawyer this evening, so maybe it's not quite as simple as we think.
It's one of those things that seriously, you put one in your backpack no matter what, because it could change the next day.
That's what it seems like.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Nelson.
You're welcome.
Jeffco is the next district up for a return to the classroom, and we're looking at their COVID rules and requirements ahead of class. Jeffco Public Schools open August 17th. Students will be back in the classroom this year. Students won't need to quarantine unless Jefferson County Public Health tells them to do so. Masks are required for everyone, regardless of their vaccination status. And unvaccinated folks will have to get tested regularly. Vaccines are also recommended, but not required yet. All staff had to share their vaccination status with the district by Monday. For more information on Jeffco reopening, text schools to 303-871-1491. We'll send you our full classroom comeback guide.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. American troops cannot and should not be fighting in a war and dying in a war that Afghan forces are not willing to fight for themselves.
The Taliban now controls Afghanistan's capital. 3 months after U.S. troops first started to leave the country, President Joe Biden stood by his decision to withdraw troops today as chaos surrounds the evacuation of U.S. troops and diplomats and the Afghans who helped them. Afghan Americans are watching from afar, many who came to this country after helping the U.S. Army themselves. 9 News reporter Katie Eastman spoke to one Coloradan who says that work feels meaningless now that the Taliban have taken over his home.
Says that
A look back at Aurangzeb Sharifi's life in Afghanistan is far different than the one he leads today in Commerce City, Colorado.
I was working as a television journalist, and I was a television anchor.
A job as a journalist there was risky.
If they don't like something, they break the camera and they beat the crew, and that's it, and nobody can say anything.
But his other job was even more dangerous.
I was interpreting and translating for the United States Armed Forces there. It was like you're playing with your life. It was like very hard.
Working for the U.S. Army made him a target of the Taliban. It's why he was able to get a special immigrant visa to come live here nearly 7 years ago.
So my whole family and relatives are in Afghanistan. My entire family and relatives, siblings, my parents, they're back in Afghanistan.
Now he worries about them and the people who had jobs like his as Taliban forces take over Kabul, the city Sharifi used to call home.
See that? Do you see that? Nobody is safe in Afghanistan right now. Nobody knows that what's going to happen tomorrow. Everybody's, panicking.
All Sharifi has here is his voice.
It's like meaningless. The United States citizens should ask Joe Biden, what did you do in Afghanistan, and why our soldiers' lives were lost in Afghanistan?
He'll use it loudly while he lives in Colorado.
I regret on my vote to Joe Biden.
Knowing his friends and family living in Afghanistan will be in danger if they use theirs. Katie Eastman, 9 News.
Sharifi organized a protest at the state capitol this past weekend, and he'll hold another this Thursday on Afghanistan's National Day of Independence.
What's happening in Afghanistan spans generations of American troops who fought and died over 20 years, and generations of Afghan citizens who now face an uncertain and volatile future. Democratic State Representative David Ortiz was one of those soldiers who's not pleased with his own party's decisions, the parties that are making these throughout this process.
Seeing the way that things have played out with the withdrawal and how much it was botched is very frustrating. It's disappointing. It hurts. And I know that there are Ds that are saying this was going to happen, this was inevitable no matter what. And the majority of them who it's coming from are white men who've never had to live under a regime where they couldn't go to school because of their gender, where if they committed a crime that they would be whipped and beaten or killed. So they sit there in their privilege saying that this was all inevitable, having no experience in national security, having never served. And it makes me incredulous and it makes me frustrated, and they just need to stop.
Representative Ortiz was an Army helicopter pilot in Afghanistan and paralyzed in 2012. You can see his entire story on our website and on the 9 News app. Now, if you want to read more about what's happening in Afghanistan right now, text Kabul to 303-871-1491, and we will send you the latest information.